Making English easy for everyone.
Speak English with Jay and May.
Hey, English learners. Welcome back to Speak English with Jay and May, your cozy little place to build your English confidence. I'm May.
Hello, May, and hello, everyone. I'm Jay. How are you today, May?
I'm doing really well, Jay. Actually, I just had a really interesting moment this morning. I was texting a friend, and I used the word would like 4 times in 3 sentences.
Really? 4 times? I didn't even notice when people use would that much.
Right? That's the thing. Native speakers use would all the time, and most learners think it only has 1 or 2 meanings. But today, Jay, we're going to show everyone that would is actually one of the most powerful words in English.
Oh, wow. Okay, I'm excited. And a little nervous. How many uses does it have?
10. We're covering all 10 uses of would today, with real examples, real stories, and 0 boring grammar textbook stuff.
Yes, that's what I love about this show. Okay, May, before we start, I think we should tell our listeners something important.
Oh, good idea. Go ahead, Jay.
If this podcast helps you learn English in a fun way, please subscribe to our channel, hit the like button, turn on notifications, and share this with a friend who's learning English. It really helps us make more episodes for you every single day.
Every single day. We work hard for you, so that little like button means the world to us. Okay, let's dive in. Are you ready, Jay?
Ready, let's go.
All right, so let's start with use number 1. And this one, everyone already knows a little bit. We use would for imaginary or hypothetical situations, things that are not real, not happening right now, just in your imagination.
Oh, like, if I had $1 million, I would travel the world.
Exactly. Perfect example. You don't have $1 million right now. Sorry, Jay. But you're imagining what life would be like. That's the hypothetical would. It lives inside if I would sentences.
So it's like a dream sentence.
Yes, a dream sentence. I love that. You know, I always say, if I could live anywhere, I would live by the beach. Do I live by the beach right now? No, but in my imagination, absolutely.
Okay, I love that. So use number 1 is would for imaginary situations. Got it. What's number 2?
Number 2, we use would to talk about past habits, things you did regularly in the past but you don't do anymore.
Wait, I thought we used used to for that.
Great question. You can use both. Used to and would are actually interchangeable for past habits. So instead of saying, I used to walk to school every day, you can say, I would walk to school every day.
Oh, interesting. So would can replace used to.
For habits, yes. But here's the key. Only for actions, not for states. So you can say, I would walk to school, that's an action, but you can't say, I would be very shy. For states, you need used to be.
Oh, okay, that's a sneaky little rule.
It is, and this is where things get interesting, because most textbooks don't even mention this difference. When I was a kid, my grandma would make pancakes every Sunday morning, every single Sunday. That smell would fill the whole house. I can still remember it.
Oh, that's so sweet. And you used would twice just now.
I did. That's how natural it is. Use number 2, past habits. Moving on, number 3, we use would for polite requests.
Oh, like at a restaurant?
Exactly. Instead of saying, give me water, which sounds a little harsh, you say, would you bring me some water, please? It's softer, more polite, more natural.
So would you makes things more polite.
Yes. Would you help me? Would you mind closing the door? Would you like to sit down? These all sound warm and respectful. It's one of the most important uses in everyday life, honestly.
I use can you a lot. Is that wrong?
It's not wrong, but would you sounds more polite and more native. Can you is more casual. In a professional setting, would you is always the safer, more impressive choice.
Good to know. Okay, what's number 4?
Number 4, would for offers. When you want to offer something to someone, you say, would you like?
You mean like, would you like some coffee?
Yes, that's the classic one. Would you like to join us? Would you like some help? It's gentle. It gives the other person a choice without pressure. Very different from just saying, do you want coffee? Which is fine, but would you like coffee feels warmer, more welcoming.
It really does sound different, like more caring.
Exactly. And you know what's funny? I notice this every time I'm at a nice cafe or hotel. The staff always says, would you like anything else? Never, do you want more? That little word would carries so much warmth.
Wow, I never noticed that before. Okay, use number 5. What is it?
Number 5, would for preferences. This is when you use would with rather or prefer, like, I would rather stay home than go out tonight.
Oh, like choosing between two things?
Exactly. Would rather means you prefer one thing over another. I would rather drink tea than coffee. She would rather walk than take the bus. It's very common in natural conversation.
I would rather sleep than study sometimes. Can I say that?
Yes, that is a perfect and very honest sentence. And this connects to would prefer too. I would prefer to stay home. Same meaning, slightly different structure.
So would rather and would prefer both show preference. Got it. Okay, May, we're at number 6. We're halfway through. Wait, actually more than halfway.
We're flying through these. Okay, number 6. Would for predictions or expectations about the past. This one is a little more advanced, but stick with me.
Uh-oh. Okay, I'm listening carefully.
So imagine this. You come home and you see an empty plate on the table. You think, oh, my brother was here. He would have eaten all the food. You weren't there, you didn't see it, but based on what you know, your brother loves food, you make a prediction about what probably happened in the past.
Oh, so would have is like guessing what happened before.
Yes, would have arrived by now. He would have known the answer. These are logical predictions about the past. You're not 100% sure, but you're pretty confident based on the situation.
That's actually really useful, like detective thinking.
Yes, exactly like a detective. She would have left early, she would have taken the train. You're building a picture from clues. I love that, Jade. Detective thinking.
Okay, I'm feeling smart. What's number 7?
Number 7. Would to report what someone said. This is called reported speech, and this one is super common.
Like when you tell someone what another person said?
Yes, so imagine your friend says, I will call you tomorrow. Later, you tell someone else, she said she would call me tomorrow. You change will to would in reported speech.
Oh, so will becomes would when you're reporting.
Exactly. Direct speech, I will help you. Reported, he said he would help me. It's one of those grammar shifts that happens automatically when you're reporting, and once you know it, you'll hear it everywhere.
I think I've been doing this wrong for a long time. I probably just kept saying will when I should say would.
Most learners do, but now you know. And honestly, once you notice this, you cannot unnotice it. You'll hear it in movies, TV shows, everywhere.
This is where things really start to click. Okay, number 8?
Number 8. Would to talk about something someone refused to do. This is a really interesting and underused one.
Refused? Like they didn't want to do it?
Yes, the car wouldn't start. He wouldn't listen to me. She wouldn't stop talking. Here, wouldn't shows refusal or something just not cooperating, even if it's not a person.
Wait, the car wouldn't start? The car can refuse?
I know, right? It sounds funny, but we actually say this in English. The door wouldn't open, the computer wouldn't turn on. It's like we give objects a personality, they're being stubborn.
Oh, that's so funny. English is weird sometimes.
It really is, but this use is everywhere in native conversation, especially when you're telling a frustrating story. I was late because the taxi wouldn't come and the app wouldn't work. You know that feeling.
Oh, absolutely. That's very relatable. Okay, number 9. We're almost done.
Number 9, would in first conditional with a little twist. Actually, let me explain this differently. Sometimes we use would to make a request sound more indirect and less demanding. It's softer than asking directly.
Like an example?
Sure. Instead of tell me the answer, you say, I would appreciate it if you told me the answer. Or instead of stop doing that, you say, I would prefer it if you didn't do that. You wrap the request in would to soften the impact.
Oh, so it's like using wood as a cushion.
Yes, a cushion. I love that word for it. You're still asking for something, but you're being gentle about it. Very useful in professional emails, in formal conversations, or even when you're talking to someone you respect.
I need to use this in emails more. I always sound too direct in emails.
We all do. But I would appreciate your reply at your earliest convenience. That sounds so professional and warm at the same time. Much better than please reply fast.
Okay, and the final one. Use number 10. What is it?
Use number 10, and this is a beautiful one. Would for expressing a wish or a desire, often with a little emotion behind it.
Like wishing for something?
Yes, I would love to visit Japan one day. I would hate to miss this opportunity. I would like to thank everyone for coming. These sentences carry genuine feeling. It's not just polite, there's real emotion in there.
Oh, so would love, would hate, would like, those are all expressing real feelings.
Exactly. And this is how native speakers express desire without sounding too aggressive or too demanding. I want to go is fine, but I would love to go, that sounds warm, genuine, full of heart.
I would love to be fluent in English someday.
And you will be, Jay. You already are, more than you think. And that sentence right there, perfect use of would. You just naturally used number 10.
I did? I didn't even think about it.
That's the goal, right? When you stop thinking about grammar and you just speak, that's when you know it's working.
Okay, May, can we do a quick recap? Because I want to make sure everyone has all 10 in their head.
Yes, great idea. Okay, quickly. Number 1, imaginary situations. If I had time, I would travel more. Number 2, past habits. We would play outside every evening. Number 3, polite requests. Would you help me, please? Number 4, offers. Would you like some tea?
Number 5, preferences. I would rather stay home. Number 6, past predictions. She would have finished by now. Number 7, reported speech. He said he would come. Number 8, refusal. The door wouldn't open.
Number 9, softening requests. I would appreciate it if you could help. And number 10, expressing wishes and desires. I would love to learn more English.
10 uses, 1 word. Would. That is incredible.
It really is. And here's the thing. You probably already know most of these. You just didn't realize it was all the same word doing different jobs.
That's the thing about English. 1 word can do so much.
Exactly. And the more you listen, the more you'll catch these naturally. Podcasts like this one, movies, shows, real conversations. Just keep exposing yourself to real English, and it will all start to make sense.
And speaking of this podcast, May, I think it's time to remind our listeners something.
Me? Go ahead.
If you enjoy learning with us, please subscribe to the channel, give this episode a like, share it with one friend who's learning English, and turn on the bell so you never miss an episode. We are here every single day for you.
Every single day. We genuinely love making this for you, and your support means everything. It keeps us going.
Okay, May, before we close, what's the comment challenge today?
Ooh, I love this part. Okay, here it is. Write a sentence in the comments using would. Any use. Pick your favorite from today. It could be a wish, a polite request, a past habit, anything. Let us see what you come up with.
Yes, show us your sentence. We read the comments, we really do, and we love seeing your progress.
And if you're feeling brave, use 2 or 3 different would uses in one comment. Let's see who can do it.
Challenge accepted. I would try that if I were a listener right now.
Look at you, hypothetical would and all. Jay, you're basically a native speaker at this point.
Don't tell everyone, they'll expect too much from me.
Okay, English learners, that's a wrap on today's episode. Thank you so much for spending this time with us. You showed up, you listened, you learned, and that matters.
We'll see you in the next episode. Keep practicing, keep going, and remember, every day you listen is a day you grow.
Take care of yourselves. We'll be back tomorrow. Same place, same good energy. Bye for now.
Bye, everyone. See you next time.